In 1868, Japan embarked on one of the most remarkable transformations in world history. Picture this, a nation that had isolated itself for over 2 centuries suddenly opening its doors to the world. This was the birth of the Meiji Empire, and what happened next would change the course of not just Japan, but the entire world. At the helm of this transformation was a young emperor, Mutsuhito, better known as Emperor Meiji. Just 15 years old when he ascended to the throne, he became the face of Japan's modernization. But here's what makes this story fascinating. Unlike previous emperors who were mere figureheads, Meiji worked alongside a group of brilliant reformers who shared his vision of making Japan a global power. The emperor's leadership wasn't just about political reform, it was deeply symbolic. In a break from centuries of tradition, he moved the capital from Kyoto to Tokyo, literally meaning Eastern capital. Imagine the shock when people saw their emperor wearing Western clothing, cutting his top knot, and eating beef, things that were once considered taboo. These weren't just fashion statements. They were powerful symbols of Japan's willingness to embrace change. Under Meiji's reign, Japan transformed from a feudal society into an industrial powerhouse. They sent scholars abroad to learn Western technologies, built railways, established a modern education system, and created a powerful military. By the early 1900s, Japan had achieved something unprecedented. It had become the first non-Western nation to industrialize successfully. But like all great stories, the Meiji era had to come to an end. When Emperor Meiji passed away in 1912, he left behind a nation completely different from the one he inherited. Japan had gone from an isolated feudal state to a major world power in just 44 years. The Meiji Empire's legacy lives on today, serving as a remarkable example of how a nation can reinvent itself while keeping its cultural identity intact. It's a story that reminds us that change, no matter how daunting, is possible with visionary leadership and the courage to embrace new ideas. The Meiji Restoration wasn't just a chapter in Japanese history, it was a revolution that showed the world what's possible when tradition meets innovation.